Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. His Majesty, HangTime. That's the crowd going wild.
That's the biggest celebration I've heard today.
Well, I mean, I aim to please. That's what we do. We check that I don't have a stupid EQ profile on your voice. I do. I'm going to change that to something different. About nothing. How about bypass? There we go, that should be better. By default I have to boost the bass because Nedvara has no bass in his microphone at all, so you would have sounded like Barry White right now.
Yeah, I've changed headsets since I last spoke to you, so I have no idea what I sound like.
It's fine. There's enough of all the frequencies. And Rakate is pleased. So that's your seal of approval right there. Oh.
Take it away.
Timer, we're on. Full volume. First map. GM2, picked by Brazil. We don't see the countdown, but it's there, I think. There we go. We get first rocket going to Brazil. They have lots of everything. First squad going to Russia. They have yet to find a rocket. Where's the high rocket? Anybody get high rocket? That's glad, but the team overlay is screwed. Oh, it's go belt. Never mind. I got a switch. So nobody has second high rocket. It's okay. High rocket was just dropped on the spot. That's why nobody had it just yet. Armors on both sides, rockets on both sides. So far, it's pretty quiet. And not at the same time even fragging from both sides. 3 rockets from Brazil. They're more around. I don't know where they are. I want to say they're down at low, but no. Russia has taken over low. Had taken over low. Still 2 rockets for them. 3. We missed out on that quad. Come on.
Yeah, it's a crucial quad this because it's the only weapon they have, so he needs to make sure he doesn't overextend here.
Oh, right. It is. Goes straight for the jump to low back room. Will not press the button, but he's going to be able to save all of that stuff.
Take the mega and get to low. You should be taking that mega and denying the next low. But
yeah, that was a bit
looks
risky.
like Brazil got it anyway, I think.
Taman is asking for our predictions. What do you think? I don't know what to expect really from Brazil because their game they had versus Finland doesn't really tell much of a story because Finland is going to trounce everybody pretty much.
Yeah, I think I favour Russia. Having played them a few times lately, they seem pretty good shape. But I haven't seen them on high ping, whereas obviously Brazil have played some games high ping, so...
that's a good point. Yeah, I keep mentioning Russia has been practicing a lot, but within the confines of the EU servers. Well, you see, the team overlay is pretty handy for commentating, so I'm gonna keep it. And I have to say to our friends from Australia and the US, I stand with you. Team overlay has a posse. All that stuff. But no, I care about it for viewing at least. It's pretty handy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a clue what to say. Even with the team overlay, I don't have a clue what to say, so I really, really need it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep out of the politics for this.
Yeah, it's not.
I think. But yeah, it looks like Russia is probably gonna get the next quad at least.
They have full yellows. That's a lost rocket.
Oh, lava bath.
No.
It's interesting. He didn't attempt a quad rocket jump out of the lava. Then I think he probably would have died. But it's sometimes risky because you can give the enemy a pack doing that. So maybe the right call just to die there.
Oh, they're on LAN. Interesting. So Frost tells us that the Brazilian lineup is actually on LAN.
Yeah, I noticed their ping suddenly changed, right? So they're all down at 130 now.
Yeah, and they didn't need to do any of the delay packet.
Seems
Dance.
strange, but yeah. So yeah, it's still quite an even game actually. If you look, neither team has been able to completely suppress the opposition. So even where the quads have been taken, like Brazil has been able to get rockets from low. So I think maybe Russia just benefiting from the quads to get more frags, but in terms of control, it's still quite even.
Yeah, so far it looks like it's the quad. 4 quads to 1 for Russia. They're doing well on armor, so yeah, it's got to be the quads.
Yeah, it's a kind of frustrating game for Brazil that, you know, they've been in the game in the first 4.5 minutes, but they've got half the frags that Russia has.
Yeah, we've now 20 plus frags apart, and
he's dropped a pack there as well in secret. Glad could guard this pack in secret potentially. So Brazilian players dropped a pack in there.
secret's up. Yeah, there is it. There it is. That leaves the pack for his buddies, or potentially an enemy if they're not careful.
Good attack on quad though from Brazil. They had two players attack that quad, so that meant GT could get it. So now we get to see some fast-paced Brazilian action.
Well, I mean, this map is pretty cramped corridors, so I don't know how much speed can GT get unhindered in this situation, but so far so good. So I was getting ready to unzip. Maintaining the status quo. Ooh. And that's a nice rocket back that nobody else will get. So that's 3 rockets to Brazil. Russia is nearly reset. 1 red, 1 yellow.
Yeah, Brazil's got a rocket. I can see it, red mega, and he's just collected both. He literally had 2 health, no armor, and I've just seen he's picked up both red and mega, which is crucial, right? Because he could lock down low RL while GT runs the next quad. So it's a chance now for Brazil to actually take control.
Next squad in 5. Oh, that was 5 seconds ago. And GT again. GT and his L-shaped rocket launcher goes into the corners. High rocket is up. It should go to Brazil. Cobalt is making sure.
I wasn't sure how Russia managed to get a weapon into red mega room there. I wasn't sure if it was maybe a dropped weapon or something. I think Brazil had a chance to lock it down, but Russia have at least got that that weapon now to red mega.
There you go. That's high rocket going to Brazil. Good thing it did, because they just lost two of their other rockets, and they've lost all of them. Just about 20 coming. The gap is increasing again. Nice little killing spree, and now. Okay, forever. All eyes are on you now. Need armor. One red guy slips. Dodge the quad. They're all at big except for one at secret. He's not going to find them in time. No frags really in that run.
Yeah, the timing was just off. Then if he'd gone through the teleporter, he might have just had a second of quad left and be able to hit a quad SSG shot. But he only went through when quad had expired.
So far, Russia is really doing well controlling the red armors. That's 26-17. They have heeded the doctor's warning. They needed more yellow, more YA and RA vitamins in their diet. They've must have fixed that. They're getting an injection of vitamin Q from Alien, though.
Oh, that red armor just stolen from him was unlucky timing, but
Yeah, it almost looked like they were arguing who was going to get it. So that's a lot of grenades. 14 frags apart, so that push from Brazil was successful, I guess. 10 reds behind still.
I don't know why he used another rocket then. He only had 3 rockets before that little fight at water, and he used 2 against an enemy when there was 2 teammates as well. So you can see, look, now he's used all his rockets, and now he's facing an enemy rocket launcher.
And just about escaped the quad room. Right, it's gonna his teeth. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna leave a mark. Team kill. Cool. And it's back to 20. The Russians don't agree with these attempts from Brazil. They're able to push them back. They have 2 rockets. It's still very much the way it's been for the rest of the game. I mean, it took about 4 minutes to settle into a 20 frag lead, and that's what we've been at pretty much since. And like you said, it's not really clear who's doing what, because we see reds and weapons and yellows on both sides in equal parts, depending on when you look. Right now, all the armors are for Brazil, but the weapons are for Russia, so what gives?
Yeah, I think this is the best DM2, or most even DM2 match I can remember seeing in the Nations Cup. I've probably forgotten some game now, but I think most games have been pretty one-sided on this map.
Yeah, for now it is most definitely one of the close ones. No ifs and buts about it. Still 20. What can they do? I mean, they have 1 RL, 3 reds, and that's it.
See that little grenade jump there by Billy? It's the kind of move that I find when you try that, by the time you've waited for the grenade to go up, come down, and bounce, someone's come and shot you in the back.
Yeah, that is very risky.
But it's worked. He's got the high RL. Russia now with 4 weapons, so it's looking pretty bad for Brazil now.
Okay,
Big flood here though on the quad runner, but he's got too much armor to take him out here.
Okay, where are the Brazilians? Where are they? Can he find them? That's
So one thing I noticed playing against Brazil was they sometimes are unexpectedly aggressive. Like they'll in a situation where you're expecting them not to attack, they'll just come and attack you. Like chase you around a corner when you're spamming or something like
that. Looks like we finally have some progress. Russians breaking away a little further. 30 frags now. And they look poised to pick up the next quad. Max power in position. Glad missing the trick. Can he find any targets? Where are the blue guys? That's 2 at low. Oof. That wasn't overkill at all. Quite fine on a fresh spawned guy. Nah. Alien is hiding. Where is he? The 1 red armor for Brazil.
Yeah, the timing's pretty rough for Brazil because the quad runner knows the timing on the low and he can wait to take it and have enough time to go back to the next quad. So, or lock down red mega maybe. So,
yeah, it looks like that's exactly what's happening. So, 2 minutes, 10 more frags, looking to be 20 more frags if they can make it to 50 here. Yeah, it looks like they will. I see lots of blue crosses on my radar. That's all dead, all the dead Brazilians. And a big shout out to Meeg for the sub, and Easy Quake also. That's kind of nice too. Holy cow. 2 Brazilians trapped down at... Wow, they make it actually. So all of the Brazilians are around big or quad. It's a bit early for quad, but maybe they have plans for high rocket. I don't know when it is. Could be about now. They're gonna get it. Forever's gonna get high RL. No! I mean, he does, but then he drops it to Glad. Russia is 50 frags ahead. So that's crazy. Yeah, it finally worked. It finally clicked for Russia after the 11th minute. It was stuck to plus 20, 25 at most for 10 minutes, and then, whee! Here they go.
It was interesting there that Billy took the quad with shotgun, which was probably a good call because they kind of had not many rockets apart from I think Glad had one, and sometimes if the quad runner takes the rocket, then there's no one else who can kind of just secure a position.
Increase to 60 frag difference. There we go. 5 minutes to go. And Brazil has been completely reset. No weapons, no nothing. They're all at low. And there's somebody with rockets harassing them there. There we go. All dead. So it looks like we have a bit of a map lock on our hands. And that's not good.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I was talking about, where you've got quad and a full red armor, and there's just a Brazilian guy just charging at you.
I mean, that nearly worked. 7 health.
Yeah, he got 7 health. Luckily, he survived that and was able to restack.
To clean up red armors. Step 1. Attack with quad shotgun. Step 3. Profit. 70. So it looks like it's gotten completely out of hand. I don't know if the Brazilians can wrangle this back into control. We've seen 50 frag swings on this. Actually, we've seen some of that from Russia in their practice games versus mixed guys. But I don't know. That would be great. It started out as, like you said, one of the tightest DM2s we've seen so far in this Nations Cup. It's turning out to be anything but.
What was that? I mean, to be fair, with this ping, it's quite easy to tinker with a rocket, but I didn't think he needed to shoot a rocket there.
All right.
Into secret box when a teammate's there.
That is a very good point. Hello, 130 ping. Just out of range.
Get out of there.
'85. Okay, so the stats don't really matter at this point in terms of who picked up what. Because that's the most obvious, is that Russia is picking up the frags. 12 quads to 5. Bit of a lull. It's because I'm reviewing the wrong person. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm viewing the quad guy. Oh, hi. We have our favorite QTV person here. '91. Is my auto track broken, or is Billy just kicking major ass? Could be a bit of both. Dot, although, is the one player with the least deaths. 18 deaths. Not even Billy.
Yeah, I think sometimes you can have a player who's just securing either telly or backroom, and because they're not taking any quads, the auto track doesn't go to them that often.
Right. Seems like that's what he's doing then. So does it tell a yellow? Yeah, so that's what he's doing. Or he was. Final minute. Who picked this map? Brazil, yes.
Yeah, it looks like this game is going to end with, you know, over 100 frags advantage for Russia, and I don't know. I guess that's a fair reflection of the second half of the map. The map, but the first half was, you know, pretty even. I thought, just a little bit more frag output from Russia. That was the only difference.
Proper wpierdol. Yep. That's a proper beating in Polish. 425, I was just preparing the score line. And I tap back, and what do we have? 20 more frags. Oh, that's a packet loss rearing its ugly head. Or the end of that game. Alrighty then. So that's the first map out of the way. This has been Brazil's map pick. Yeah, that yellow and green doesn't work. It's going to have them all yellow. Good. So, that's going to be welcomed by the Brazilians. I think it was the best map against Finland. It was actually competitive, sort of, compared to the other map. So again, this could be a good surprise. TDM2.
Yeah, our game was quite close with Brazil here, but I think it was a different lineup. And the Russians, I've seen some very good things from Russia on E1M2 lately.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they've gotten better at it. And if we take a look at the
I think there was like a mixed series that was, well, it was a mixed team against Russia, and I think on the other maps Russia lost, but they won convincingly on this map. And
right, and I just checked the result. The game you had versus Brazil on E1M2, it was like a 40 frag difference, but it was a completely different lineup. Phantasma, Soultaker, Power, and Snoopy were playing. So now we have Phantasma in. That's the one player in common. That's it. Is Phantasma going to fix his colors? What was it? 113? 213? I don't remember. BPS knows. He's asking. So
312, I think.
Is Phantasma on land with them as well? $312.
Am I the only person that gets suspicious when I see some people are using like Alpha 19 when I know it's got higher alpha versions of 3.5. Like, is there some advantage from Alpha 19? Maybe that's just me being paranoid.
That's a good point. Maybe they just upgraded from whatever a long time ago. Oh, that works fine. Okay, I'm just gonna keep at it. But hopefully you haven't gotten Meeg too worried, because he's watching, and we wouldn't want him thinking, oh shit, was something wrong with that? What's cheaty with that build? And mostly league admins, because it's the league admins who set versions XYZ are allowed and not those before or whatnot.
Yeah, I know there was an old version. I think they said you have to have at least Alpha, I don't know, 16 or something like that, because there was some older version that had a exploit of some description. But I don't know any problems with Alpha 19. It's just a bit of an oddity to see
So many people
multiple
with that old
players
version, yeah.
with an old version that's exactly the same alpha. Seems a bit strange, but
Yeah, I'd expect to see a lot of 3.5 Alpha 20 or 24. Those were common things for a while. Demo cancelled. Thankfully, Meek says he is looking into it. Crosshair alignment, really. I'm gonna cut the music off just like that. Because why wouldn't I? Here we go. Second map, Russia's pick, E1, M2. First rocket going to, nobody spawned in front of it. First squad going to Cobalt. There we go, Glad got the rocket.
yeah, he was trying to save the yellow armor, presumably for Glad, right? If he got the first, and then he got killed by the quad. It's I don't know. Maybe with this ping, it's harder to avoid that kind of stuff because people come around the corner and shoot you before you can react.
There we go, second rocket going to Brazil and then dying. That push at yellow. I'm going to be giggling for a while now, I think. Fourier. I'm accompanied tonight by the one and only HangTime. I thought I'd change the stream title. Maybe I need to. Yes, I have changed it, but maybe it's not up to date where you are. I don't know. Reset. Nobody has anything. Billy gets the rocket. And GT goes for... No, Max Power wasn't the right spot this time around. He wasn't going to get slammed into the opposite wall.
You've seen a couple of times with SNG fights. On this ping, SNG is absolutely horrendous. It's almost sometimes worth just using Boomstick because it's hit scan.
Oh yeah, and you've got to remember to set something to make the super nail gun look like it, sound like it's shooting properly. Otherwise you hear every second nail. It's kind of strange to play with. But we don't have this problem when spectating here, so all good. Brazil is going to make sure they get that rocket launcher, and who gets it? Billy with the quad. Rocket is picked up by Dot. That was a quad. Oh. Quad Pine. Quad Rocket. Not sure what I saw. Whatever it was painful.
Some good flood here from Brazil. They're trying to stop Dot. Yeah, they've denied him getting out of the bridge area. It's one of the reasons I like E1 M2 as a team play map is because of the scarcity of armor. If you can do coordinated attacks, they can be quite reliable and effective.
Good point.
Whereas on some like DM2, DM3, sometimes you arrange a flood and you just give away frags because they're too strong.
Yeah, reminder, only a yellow and a plastic armor available on this map, so... there's not much of anything to go by. No wonder there's so many team kills as well, with people being such soft targets. Forever defending Mega. That's a good position. It's pretty tough to retake on your own, at least. He's been Forever has been hanging on to that rocket launcher for a while now. He was defending the RL spawn a minute ago. I don't think he's died since.
See, I quite like the way Billy was attacking Yellow Armor. He was, although he had armor himself, he wasn't exposing himself too much. He was, taking cover behind the stairs, and it's the sort of map where you can lose your armor so quickly that he wasn't overly bold in his attack. He was making use of cover. So
Russia is getting a little bit ahead. They're getting more yellows. Good. Who won the first map? Russia won DM2, Brazil's map pick. Insane. I sure hope you're going to be playing the game after that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Brazil are going to have to start to contest the quads, I think. I can see Russia are going to build a foothold over Yellow and GL. And they'll use that to run a few quads. Yeah, see, there's a good quad steal there, so...
They've had more quads so far.
They'll keep control over Yellow, so Brazil just needs to try and get a rocket into Mega, I think.
Wow, all of Russia is waiting for that yellow armor. 3 RLs.
They should have 4 RLs, really, if someone went and collected that pack, but 4 RLs never lasts for long here anyway.
It's a noise point. Forever is still rocket launcher, the rocket launcher guy for Brazil. Ah, there we go. It's GT with RL now. And the lead is increasing still in favor of the Russians. That's more than twice what it was 2 minutes ago. And again, quad going to Russia. Thankfully not for long. That was a lucky spawn. And it's not often that I would say spawning in front of the quad is lucky, but here in this case it was. Quad was pretty low on health. 56, so the Brazilians are maintaining this. Cobalt with the RL is going to die soon, I think. 19 health. And there we go, he drops it. Well, he loses it, I don't know if he dropped it to anybody. 3 RLs for Russia, they're at yellow. Max Sparrow overlooking RL. This is looking good for the next minute also for Brazil.
Yeah, there's no pressure on Yellow armor really from Brazil, so what's happening is they're getting a weapon, but then they can't get into the Yellow, and then they get killed. So
Yellow is clean, you can get in. There he goes. That was cleaned up before he went in there. Brazil may need more coordinated flooding. Could be. Well, that was a good rocket from GT. Didn't he hit Billy here?
Yeah, the problem was if you attack on your own from spikes and there's no teammates helping you, even if the guy doesn't have quad, it's still quite a difficult attack to pull off.
Yeah, they know you're coming before you're even visible.
So really what you need is someone jumping around the corner from GL and distracting them.
Eight minutes in, we have a 40+ frag lead for Russia. And counting. Phantasma is the lone rocket launcher for his team. He is probably going to be able to survive at Mega Health. That's a good hiding spot. And that's 3 in a row for Billy. I think he wants his ice cream. Oh right, yes, we have Aeronauts versus GM Riders. 1-0. What? Well, that's an upset. Going
Maybe a slight chance for Brazil now with this quad. If they can push, get the rocket to attack as well. There we go. But Phantasma's fallen back. I would push quad now if I was him.
Big reset and Billy again. I mean, the timing of the quad is second nature for him. He's had it so many times in a row now.
Yeah, I think Phantasma had a chance to attack the quad, but I mean, maybe it was the right decision to just stay alive, go back. His Mega had nearly expired, so he can go and collect the next one. So although I probably would have attacked myself, and you know, maybe he made a better call than I would have done.
Did Quake get a small boost in player base after COVID? Yes, most definitely. Due to the extra free time, a number of people who were already playing played more, and people who had not been playing for a while decided to come back and take a look. 50, 50. That was a bit messy.
Yeah, when you're running away on E1M2 with this ping, the problem is they can shoot you around corners, so it's quite difficult escaping.
Yeah, and then he bored, like, was it clipping a corner and shooting the wrong time? Something like that, I guess. Oh,
Yeah, there's a slight delay on the rocket.
a little burst of packet loss just as I check the scoreboard. Everybody gets packet loss. Thank you, Oprah. Thank you. So still 50. More yellows going to Brazil.
So
Hey,
they've really their timing on quad was not good enough. They had a chance there. They'd managed to get control over GL and yellow, and had players with enough stack, but they didn't attack quad. And there you saw another, high ping quad ball. It does happen.
They're the best. Well, I don't know. They're just fun quad balls. Would you say this is a good time for new players to start playing? Well, there'll be plenty of people to answer your questions.
It's always a good time to start playing Quake.
There you go. Are we seeing still more frags from Brazil? 45, it was 50 something. Getting closer, but might be short-lived as Russia has more rockets, have more yellows. And again, Billy the Kid with the quad. Will this guy ever stop? Least deaths, most quads. He gets my MVP vote for Team Russia in this map. On this map. Whatever. Can't find any targets. Where are they? Oh, he's gonna find something. There we go. Thank you, GT. And he's right on time for the next rocket. How convenient.
Let's watch the spawn point. Oh, I just had visions of him getting telefragged then.
Thankfully, the jinx did not come to fruition this time. We all know how that goes.
I mean, one thing I think would help new players actually is if all maps had like markers on the spawn points. I have seen some maps where they're marked explicitly, like I think Obsidian, the new map, I think that's got little lights or something on the floor to show where they are.
True. Yeah, there was a... I mean, Quake 2 was still pretty brutal as Quakes go, but the stock DM maps had a little pad on every player spawn, so you could see where the spawns were. It was a nice little feature. You can see the spawns on warm-up on some servers, but it's not all. I mean, it's not everywhere. So
yeah, with those keys, yeah, I mean that should be default, in my opinion. Just just helps new players, right?
Yeah, it helps new players and it helps people who are new to maps, whether they're new to the game or they're just new to the maps.
Yeah.
Like, case in point, all of these old players who came back from not playing for a long time this spring and found out, oh, what, new maps in the rotation? Oh, what's that? They would benefit from this as well. Everybody benefits. And Russia, 60 frags soon? Come on. I mean, come on. No, I want Brazil to give them a close game and for this to go to a third map. That would be nice, but... yes.
Did you see that he tries to go for the unusual angled grenade off the side wall, and it just backfired and landed in his lap.
Yeah, you got to get just right angle. That was a happy little accident. $56. Maybe if somebody from Russia leaves the server. Aww. 5 minutes to go, 60 frags apart pretty much. Ah, quad going to Brazil. And they get a yellow armor with it as well. Only one rocket launcher alive. It's Max Bauer. Where is he? He's gonna meet his buddies at yellow. Nah, he's just gonna stay down there. Ah, yellow. Yellow it is. And he meets the quad. And dispatches of the quad. Ow. Brazilians flooding quad. They're a bit early. Can they stay alive and get the item? They don't have weapons. I mean, Forever has super nail gun. That's it. Maxwell is still the only rocket launcher on the map. This is why the fragging has slowed down a little. We now have one rocket launcher on the Brazilian side. That's Cobalt.
One thing I was interested to see tonight was what team Russia played. What players they used, because they've got quite a depth of players in their pool. So I actually don't know who their best 4 players are.
It's hard to tell. It seems like it depends on the map as well, to make matters more complex for us.
Yeah, so having played against them recently, Zeppelin, ZP, he's been strong on E1M2, and I kind of thought maybe he would play. I can see he's on QTV.
Ah yes, Zip. As long as the teams know who is better on what map and field the appropriate lineup, then it's all the same to me. I just want to see good games. This time the angle works. 26.
There's players like Gore, who's not playing as well. So yeah, I think they've got a very, they could put out 2 strong teams, I think.
Yeah, actually they have been practicing against themselves, I think. When everybody's around, they can play, they can fill an entire server. And if they cannot quite fill a server, they can still have 2 players warming up in the opposite team with 2 mixed guys.
Yeah, so
Again,
Billy's had quite a free run on these quads. I think he's I don't know how many he's taken, but must be, I don't know, 7, do you think? Something like that?
Sounds about right. Russia overall has picked up 12 quads. Brazil has picked up 7 quads, and it looked like it's been all Billy the Kid, so the stats will come up soon enough.
seen it from him on pretty much all maps. He just sort of has a affinity for quad timing. So I think it just feels like maybe Brazil's timing's not been quite where it should be, and there's been a few uncontested quads.
And it's very much a case also of him being super efficient as well. Like last map, you pointed out that somebody with least deaths was probably the guy securing the low yellow teleport. And in this case, it's very much not the case with Billy the Kid. He's getting the quad and being super aggressive with it. Getting all the frags in, not dying very much doing so. So really MVP. For him, if I can get my colors correct. E1, M2. It's going to be a 2-0 for Russia. So Be the Kid, 9,000 damage. Not bad on this map. Quad run, 5 kills in a quad run. Glad, 5 kills in a quad run. That's called a glad run, by the way. And quad time, 285 seconds of quad time for Russia. How much for Billy the Kid?
10 for Billy.
10 quads.
Yeah, he took I think he took 2 after we said 7, so he must have had 8 by then.
He got 223 seconds of quad time. So yeah, Billy the Kid. What? DM Riders lead 2 maps to 0. DM Riders, that's Hammer and Burnkoch versus Aeronauts, BPS and Locust. Kind of surprising results, but the first map was Shifter, second map I don't know what it was, but probably not Aerowalk. So that's the first game of the evening done. And, well, what do we have? Yeah, second map was Bravado. Okay, interesting.